and the situation is free to take this game. WeAreRandom looking like he's going to be resigning soon. There's no way he can put up against this. Castle's going down and more trebuchet fire coming in. WeAreRandom pretty low on resources now. He's almost out and he could make one more last push to see where he gets with that, but whether he gets anywhere at all is going to be a surprise. A little bit of a fast forward now just so we can see what happens at the end game, and he's actually managed to mass a fair amount of force up there. See what he can do with that. Hussars coming in now. Are they going to be able to take out much, or are they just going to get chopped to bits? Actually not too bad. Managed to take out a trebuchet there and managing to take out some onagers as well. But ultimately they're not going to last too long, as these elite throwing axemen are going to cut them down pretty easily. And one final last stand here as this last castle, well, one of the last castles gets taken out by the situation's trebuchets. Onager fire coming in, and it looks like he's going to be able to do a fair amount of damage to these throwing axemen actually. If he gets a nice shot on them, they could be in a spot of trouble. There we go, look, taking them out quite easily. But another castle going down for WeAreRandom, and these last few Mangudais left. Doesn't look like WeAreRandom is going to be able to pull this back. The situation with a large amount of map control and that early aggression really paying off for him, as to be expected really from a Frankish player. WeAreRandom didn't really get the forces out he needed early on enough, and ultimately the situation has it. And finally just waiting for the end game. WeAreRandom surely about to give it up now. Not a lot he can do. He's got hardly any resource left, and he's having his buildings cut down left, right and centre. There we go, WeAreRandom has resigned. I will see you momentarily for game 2 of round 1 between these two players, where the civilizations will be switched. So now we have WeAreRandom and the situation once again. WeAreRandom now in blue and the situation in green. The situation won last game, playing as Franks. This time he is playing as Mongols, and WeAreRandom is now playing as Franks. So it's been a complete civilization swap, and we'll be able to see if either of these players has an advantage over one another now that they've swapped over. Some players only practice really with one civilization, and usually, well, one of the most popular civilizations to use is the Franks. So WeAreRandom could play a lot better this game now he has Franks in his control. We'll see what happens. Okay, so the situation, getting some camels out early on as well, and a nice little bit of harassment there from the situation. He managed to take out one of WeAreRandom's villagers, I think. However, his hussar has now been cut down, and WeAreRandom can get on building his base. A few paladins coming out there for him, but it looks like more camels are coming on the way, and that's quite nice. He's going fairly aggressive, and now Mongol players tend to play very defensively, getting castles up around their base and really just working on being as defensive as possible. But judging by the way that the situation has spread out his houses here, and he's not even started work on a castle yet, he's also sending men right across the map to WeAreRandom's base. It suggests to me that the situation could be playing this very aggressively. Aggression won him last game, and it could do the same here if he is careful enough. He's got plenty of stables out, which is going to allow him to get a lot of heavy camels out. He's got to be careful not to burn through all of his resources early on, because if he does do that and he doesn't get an economy going fast enough, loses all his men, then he's going to be at a massive disadvantage. So there is a large amount of risk involved in playing this way. Here we go then, a castle coming forwards here for the situation, and that is fairly surprising. You wouldn't expect that really from a Mongol player, and that's a lot of camels there for him as well. So it does look like he's going to go fairly aggressive here. If he doesn't lose all these villagers to this paladin, that is, he needs to get some dudes over there to fend that off. Otherwise that castle is going to be extremely delayed. And here we go, look, some camels already in his base, preventing this castle from going up and causing WeAreRandom to garrison inside of his town centre. So WeAreRandom now kind of delayed. He's not got any villagers producing anything, and looking at his population count, he is far behind. His population capped himself at 45, and the situation is already on 60 population with a cap of 90. So here we go, this castle getting there eventually. A nice little wall in there from this villager to prevent her from getting killed. That's a nice little tactic to use in these situations where your villagers are at risk. Just wall them in around your building and the enemy can't get to you. So there we go, forward castle, town centre on this gold here, and it looks like he's getting fairly early economy there. That's two town centres and a market. So it looks like the situation is going to be going very aggressive. Market to sell off some of his stone, maybe some food and wood as well to really push with the camels. He's got a lot of wood available to him, so it wouldn't surprise me if he sells off more wood in order to get more camels out. Those camels are doing a pretty good job. They're making a nice push, and this castle is just about to go up as well. See what happens when this market goes up, see what he sells off. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets gold count quite high so that he can continue to produce a lot of camels. He's not got any other military production buildings at all, so it looks like he will be going purely camels, and that's just fine. Camels, of course, being effective against other cavalry, so he's got a nice advantage over the paladins, and it doesn't look like WeAreRandom is in much of a position to get out that many halberdiers. A lot of camels on their own can take out the halberdiers if there's not that many of them, so he's not too worried by that by the looks of things. Here we go then, this castle now going up at the front, and that's going to provide a nice little launch pad for the situation. He can, Garrett of course, gather his men here before pushing in, but it doesn't even look like he's doing that. He's massively outnumbering WeAreRandom now. This market here sold off quite a lot of resource, as you can see there. His gold count is quite high now, and he sold off 6,000 wood and a few thousand food, and that's enabled him to queue up this many camels, and that's good. He's really pushing across the map strongly there. The siege workshop coming up at the front, and he's right in WeAreRandom's base, absolutely kicking ass here. WeAreRandom doesn't really stand much of a chance now. All of his villagers have pretty much been taken out, and he's left with what he's got on the map, which isn't a great deal, to be honest. WeAreRandom just garrisoning a few halberdiers in here by the looks of it, but I don't think that's going to really be too effective for him. There's not a lot he can do right now. Paladins are a no-no, as there's this many camels surrounding him. He's got this little castle down here, but no villagers to build a town centre on this gold. And to be honest, I don't think he has got any villagers. He's got 1 or 2 villagers left on the map. That's it, he's got 2 villagers left. And it really does look like the situation has this. Trebuchet fire coming in now onto this castle. Of course, the castle is taking out a few of these heavy camels. But it really does look strong for the situation, and WeAreRandom once again caught in the thick of it. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to come back from this, and it looks like this is going to be 2-0 for the situation. An extremely good play there from him, and good game from WeAreRandom. The situation playing a very aggressive Mongol there, and I'm pretty impressed with that. He played extremely well, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from this player later on in the tournament. So yep, that has been a round 1 match-up between the situation and WeAreRandom. The situation winning 2-0, moving on to round 2. I've been Zach, and I will see you next time.